I received strong instruction to bring in an angel message, so I thought we would tap in and just see what wants to come through. I have been noticing that some of the older angelic attunements that I've done have been getting a lot more traction lately. So I think there's people really needing that energy, and perhaps with whatever comes through in this read, will determine what kind of angelic attunement session I bring in. And I'll create something for everybody here, just to get rooted in the energy if you're feeling called to connect with the angelic realm. And let's look at this as sort of getting the message and also understanding what kind of attunement is needed, all right? Bottom of the deck, the Fool. I do feel like there's the arrival of something quite significant that might be really shedding some light on a matter for you. Might also be a signal of a light building time in your life. There's clearing work that's been done. You may not realize it, but the road has already opened. I feel like that's the basis of the matter. That's how we're entering this energy. I just feel like you're not aware of it yet. You may also have an angel in disguise, an earth angel that has been assisting you. I say that because they're wearing a mask. And perhaps they're bringing some kind of message to you as well about your next step. I think this could be a very important meeting that is coming in. Your will is activated at this time, and it should be directed toward new beginnings. And if you feel like you don't have any new beginnings on offer, that is about to change shortly. I also feel that you've been dealing with some really difficult situations, and you may feel like you got a tall order to fill. There's something that you need to accomplish. Maybe even something you have been putting a lot of energy toward for a while, but it just seems like you keep expending this energy, but it doesn't really feel like you get anywhere. You're kind of staying in the same place. This could even be with a connection that's really important to you. No matter how you try to work things out, it just feels like you always get back to the same sticking point, but there's something here that's fundamentally shifted, even though you may not be aware of it. And I do feel like you have angelic assistance with this new beginning. So let's see what this is. Coming in with the Fool energy. Aries energy, Aquarian energy. Let's see what this is. Okay. Four of Swords in reverse. So you have been at a time of rest. You've been trying to rest as often as you can. Maybe you've been feeling even a bit depleted. You've also been throwing up a lot of prayers and maybe feeling like you're not being heard, you haven't been acknowledged, you feel unseen, maybe even by the spiritual realm. Maybe you feel a little disconnected when normally you feel very connected because of all the troubles that have been besetting you. But I feel like that's about to change. There's some key critical truth here that you've been missing. There's some information you need, and I feel like that's what's coming in for you. And this time of rest is about to shift here very quickly. You're about to be given your mission, and this is what's going to set things in motion. So by all means, if you are feeling kind of run down and depleted, you should make time to rest while you can, because I feel very soon where you don't have any clue about where you're going or what you're supposed to do next, you're going to get your mission, and you're going to need to set that in motion. You may also be dealing with some opposition coming from people who are slandering you, just creating problems in your life, just stirring up difficulties for you. And I think you're also getting some effective communication coming in about how to eradicate this issue. These people may have not been willing to give it a rest. Bottom of the deck, Five of Swords. You've taken it as a betrayal, but see, the angels are about to point out the source of where this has been coming from. And you do want to know, what is blocking my path? Who is getting in my way? Where are these problems coming from? You're about to know. You're about to have the acquisition of wisdom, and it's going to set things right. And then you'll know how to move into action. Some of you may already know what your mission is. You've been dutifully working at it, applying yourself, but just getting exhausted because you feel like you're not getting any kind of headway made here because of this opposition. If you were wondering where the opposition was coming from, you do have some impious people in the mix that are stirring up some difficulties for you, but I feel like these people are about to be pointed out. There may be two people that are being pointed out here. And there's a lot of illumination coming that'll get you out of this karmic cycle. You may feel like you're sort of anchored in the South Node right now. I got Virgoan energy coming in there. This could be Sagittarian energy coming in here as well. Where you have been feeling held back and where you have been looking for answers, they're about to come. There's some kind of angels in the outfield that are batting for you. Okay, so let's see what this is. More details about this. More details about this. Okay. Could be, there's a couple people here that are just really feeling burdened and they've been looking for answers, judgment, coming in with that Sagittarian energy again. There's a need for some atonement for errors. And if one can recognize where they need to make correction within themselves, I do feel like this is going to be what turns the tables here. It will totally destroy the power of these people who have been causing problems. And it may create a little bit of humiliation for them to boot. I do see this is something coming down. This is Major Arcana. So the Major Arcana card coming in like that. There's no avoiding this. This is something that will happen. It's almost like, it's giving me the impression of making sure that you are aware of the need to sleep. That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say sweep your side of the street clean. Okay. And maybe there are forces that want you to sleep on this, because if you sleep on it, then you're not going to be able to clear this energy out. It could be a bit of enchantment coming through there. I don't know why, but I have almost this impression of like Sleeping Beauty, right? In this deep sleep, unable to wake from it. Somebody could have been working in this way to just make you not clear about what's going on in a situation. So almost like you would become more lackadaisical, or sometimes that's the way that the deceiver can work. The deceiver can take on the form of a lot of obstacles, challenges that wear you out, make you really tired. And when you're tired, then your consciousness is dull as well. And I feel like maybe there's a recognition that needs to come in here that you need to set something in motion at this time. Don't throw in the towel. Don't relent just because you're facing this opposition, because to do that would be an error, and the way to correct it is to move into action. Yes, you got to break the circle here to free yourself from this holding pattern. Breaking the circle will lift opposing barriers, and it's what will bring you victory. So there can even be people that you are connected to here that are really compromising you, and you need to have a recognition of that. The recognition of it will put you back into your position of power here. Yes. And all of these cards on the board, they come out to 13 deaths. Scorpio signature there. Something is going down right now in Scorpio season though. And I do feel like in the lead up to that Scorpio new moon, it's time to make a clean break from it. There's some cycle here that you need to interrupt, and it could even be breaking your ties from two people in particular, perhaps a particular circle. Okay, for those of you who are alchemists, if you have been working within a circle, there may be two people you need to break from here because the connection is compromising. You may have been trying to turn a blind eye to what your intuition was telling you, and yet you cannot ignore this anymore. You need to pay attention to this. Otherwise, you'll also get caught up in atonement for these errors. That's how it's coming through. So you may have been connected to people that you know are not moving correctly, or they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. And you've been trying to turn a blind eye to it, but there's something coming through here as being in a state of complicity. Okay? And complicity is pretty much synonymous with guilt when it comes to things like this. There's some kind of compromising situation here. Also with that Four of Swords in reverse, you know, this may be troubling you a bit right now. You may know this. You may already know that you don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. Like 11:11 on the clock, I would say yes. It's time to act on what you know. You need to break ties with this particular circle, and that's what will change things for you. That's what will turn your situation around. Anything else? Let me do a cut the deck. 8 of Wands. You do this, and then you'll be moving forward. See, you're being held back because of who you are making compromising agreements with. You're being complicit when you know it's an error to move this way. But if you correct this, things will move forward rather quickly. And then you'll understand that you have been heard. It's just that you have not been listening. That's what I got. And on the other side here, and then you'll retrieve something that you lost. Perhaps that you thought you would never, ever have a chance to retrieve again with the 9 of Cups. Some kind of wish dear to your heart has something to do with healing, and also may have to do with overcoming a particular physical challenge, a health challenge. You'll discover that this will be rectified in your favor. Let me get one Archangel card. This feels like it's just a real brief to the point message. And I did feel like something needed to come in here. Yes, you've been in this hangman position. You need a certain perspective, and the perspective you need will be coming. Could be a Pisces connected to this situation. There is a better way for you to be moving forward, but you need to reflect when you get this guidance that comes in. And whatever you've been doing, you need to dare to do it differently. You need to change up the way you have been proceeding in a situation. I feel like it has something to do with a couple people that you've been working with or connected with that are problematic in this situation. And I do think what you need for illumination around that is about to come in. Okay, let me get just one card coming out here to cap this off from the Archangels. Archangels, what do you want the person who needs to receive this message to know? What guidance can you give them for the person who needs to receive this message? What do you want them to know? Ooh, beautiful. If you act in a timely manner and you strike this balance, though you may feel it's something a bit impossible with 14 on the clock, there will be temperance in this situation, strong Sagittarian energy. It will be an alchemical moment for you, and where you feel like time has slipped through your fingers, you'll actually be able to grasp it and regain some long lost wish. I see that. It will open up to the leap of the Fool with a 2 of Ariel here. You'll be able to really balance something that you feel may be impossible to balance at this time. It's also really important that you strike a balance in your life at this time. And what you need to balance out is you need to bring more fun into your life. You've been dealing with too much heaviness. You've been trying to put out a lot of fires. You've been trying to appease many people, and now there's something about freeing yourself from what has been purposefully draining your energy so you can direct it toward your true heart's desires. And if you do, you'll reclaim the hope of the star. Aquarian energy coming in there. A dream will come true. Believe in yourself. You're at the end of a difficult situation. So Godspeed.